The KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS.
Friday, January the 12th. Good morning. Man, I say this a lot of times on Friday. Maybe that's the song we should start every Friday with. I wasn't expecting LaGrange to perk me up quite so much. But yeah, there's nothing wrong with the little old band from Texas on a Friday morning. Oh, but then again, there's always this. Who am I kidding? Oh, what says the first Friday for the KQ Morning Show in 2024? Quite like Devo.
Yeah.
Let's celebrate de-evolution, ladies and gentlemen. I have an uncontrollable urge to do it. Oh.
That does it, man. That's better than a cup of coffee right there.
Pretty spectacular. Pretty spectacular. How's everybody feeling?
Not bad. I'm out of work shape. We took a little break there, and I'm just, it's Friday. I'm ready for it to be Friday. I'm ready for it to be the weekend, right?
I have not been sleeping. I was up until 12:30 last night, you guys.
What'd you do?
Just doing stuff.
Time? Yeah.
I was watching TV, painting my nails, cleaning my room. I can't, my brain, I just can't shut it off.
I know. Sometimes that happens.
So, when your brain doesn't turn off too easily and you're trying to get to sleep, they say TV's kind of the last thing you want to do.
Right.
Get away from the screens, Candace.
No. I had to watch the last 2 episodes of Fargo that I missed, and then I had to finish this show I'm watching about Joan Crawford and Betty Davis. It's, oh my God, it's so good. It's called Feud. It's an older show, but it's so
good.
Okay,
I remember hearing about it, sure.
Mm-hmm. So good. Jessica Lange is literally my favorite actress. She is incredible.
Yeah, she's awesome. What Fargo season?
Correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't that Stillwater's Jessica Lange?
Yes. She's a Minnesota girl.
See?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's right.
I'm watching the new season of Fargo, Tony.
Which?
The newest one.
Oh, okay. All right, that's next for me.
Yes. Very good.
But let's get back to these nails. You're painting your nails at 12:30 a.m.?
Yeah, and Gigi was so soft, and she wanted to stay up. She's like, just stay up. Who cares? It's Friday
Now, which
tomorrow.
shade of black did you go with? Black or off black charcoal?
It is black. It's shiny black. It's a deep...
Ooh, glossy black.
Glass.
Shiny, happy black for the weekend. I like it. But Candace, maybe what was happening, maybe your central nervous system was keeping you on high alert, or at least it was so active because deep down in your subconscious, you know that today is Quitter's Day, and you were beating yourself up. This is Quitter's Day, the second Friday in January. This is when we're statistically speaking, most likely to abandon our New Year's resolutions. Candace, do you have something you want to confess? Did you give up on a resolution?
I haven't given up. There's plenty of time, but I'm not kicking ass at it.
Well, so okay, that's good. That's very good because, this is something if you want to power through Quitter's Day, here's some tips. Don't try to make it happen all at once, and you don't have to quit if you've fallen short. Just adjust your resolution. Just be a little more pragmatic with getting with the stick-to-itiveness that you found lacking. I'm just curious, which resolution are you struggling with? Is it the one to not blame your shortcomings on Gigi, or is it? What exactly is it that's keeping you up?
No,
Please,
I just it's not even a specific. I just want to lift more weights because I feel like I just do a bunch of cardio and I just want to be a cool girl who lifts weights.
Yeah, I want buff arms.
Yeah.
Cool.
I like it. I like it. So that time you spent painting your nails, you didn't think about maybe just getting in some powerlifting right then?
I'm not power lift at 12:30. I'm not a psycho.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what, Candace? If you commit to this resolution and you power through it, and you will eventually be the kind of person. You'll be like, hey, it's 12:30. I don't know. Maybe just get in some tricep work right now. You'll just be... You'll get there. Don't worry about it.
Some late night power lifters just heard you say that, and they're going to come in here to kick your ass.
Good. I need it.
Yo, did you hear what that dude said on the KQ Morning Show? No way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, have you ever been in a gym or anywhere? Have you ever been around actual power lifters? The kind of guys who are, or I guess gals, at a level where they're literally eating while working out. I saw that happen in a gym once.
I did too. Guy having a banana.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, it was more than just a banana. I mean, these guys had like full-on bowls of gruel, some weird powerlifting stuff, and they would be doing their reps and sets, and they were off in a corner of the gym, and I asked the guy, I just said, well, what's happening? He's like, oh, it's power. They have to eat throughout the workout. They're burning so much, and they need so much. And I mean, they look like those Schwarzenegger guys, and I just thought, man, I mean, there's got to be a book you could read. There's got to be something other than just this.
Right.
But I mean, I didn't say that. I looked at them, and if they looked at me, I averted my gaze. I was terrified of these people.
Or a thumbs up.
Yeah, I just like to walk over to them and go, hey, guys, I need a spot over here. I have about 35 pounds on the bench. Can you guys come over and spot? Do you guys need a spot? Anybody need anything? Or the best is when you see those the muscle guys, they always take like a corner of the gym. I used to work at a Gold's gym because there weren't a lot of gyms back then, way back in the day. So I go to this Gold's gym to do a little light lifting, mostly just to sit there and look at myself in the mirror. What a dashing fellow. Should I grow out this beard? But anyway, these guys are just over there grunting away. I didn't see any eaters, but they're just grunting away, and they're really going for it. And I like to jump. Hey, do you guys mind if I jump in and do a couple of sets? Just kind of interject yourself into it. And, it would drive them crazy. And but that didn't work out.
I like it. I just like I would love for Candace to make the commitment now and let us chart this on the KQ Morning Show as you just bulk up. Just go crazy in the weight room all year long. Let's just see where you are a year from today.
Well, I did it because I get very intimidated by it. Like when I am, going to my spin class, you see everyone in the weight room, and these chicks are going crazy. Like they're lifting the big bar. They're like the big bar.
Sure.
Yeah.
And I'm scared. I don't know how they do that. I don't know.
Well, I tell you what works for me and what has worked for me for decades is completely avoiding the weight room. Just get away from that thing. And I've got the perfect excuse. I used to always say on tour, I was like, no, if I go work out, man, I mean, it's hard to play that night. I mean, it messes my arms up. And then I would say that, and anybody in the know would go, yeah, but only for the first few workouts, and then you heal much faster. And then people would break down for me exactly how to do it so that I could still play gigs at night. But they'd be 9 seconds in when I would tune it out. I would just, I was Homer Simpson in court. My brain just goes completely off. Speaking of giving up on resolutions, this is actually another connected thing. I'm going to make the leap right here. I've not done any studies. This is completely anecdotal, and I'm making this up as we go. But I do believe in this. One of the reasons people give up on the resolutions the second Friday of the month is because by this day, I'm speaking for all of us, we've all been approached by at least one adorable little brownie or Girl Scout asking if we want to buy cookies.
Right, that's it.
Girl Scout cookie season is now upon us through April, and I went in for 16 boxes the other day.
Wow. Now that's lifting right there.
Exactly. They're $4 a piece. That was a $64 check I wrote. I haven't written a check in a while, but I didn't have the cash on me. And I went for, and literally, I'm not even like a sweet person. Rosemary's a dessert sweets person. She's got the sugar tooth. I got the salt tooth. But I look at those Girl Scout cookie, that order form, and I just melted. I was like, oh, I probably better get 4 of these and 4 of those and 4 of those and 4 of those. And next thing you know, I'm literally looking at 16 boxes of just girth. That's what I'm thinking. Just 16 boxes of girth.
Right. I've never wasted a Girl Scout cookie in my life. There have been some cookies. Maybe the last Oreo in the package goes uneaten, but never a Girl Scout cookie. In fact, a couple of years ago, they were in the parking lot. They had the drive-through system going. I was wheeling through, and I was like, I don't even have to park and go up to the grocery store entrance. I can just wheel. You've got to drive through, you clever little evil girls. And so I whipped through the drive-through, loaded up on there's a big lemon cookie. I love that year. Every year they have a couple of lemon options. I load up, I drive away, and I only get a couple of blocks, and I think, you know what? I wish I would have. And I went back through, around the block and back through the line like 15 minutes later, and they're looking at me. I'm like, yeah, just bring the cookies, And it felt real like drug dealer kind of thing. Through the window there, I shove them some cash and just don't let anybody see me. Just slip them in the back seat, and I'm going to peel out of here. Yeah,
I did
Girl
it.
Scout cookie season.
I made an order a few years ago with one of the girls in the neighborhood, and I went for the average, load, a few of these, a few of those, and I got 10 boxes of Thin Mints, 10, and I put them all, and I put like 6 of the 10 in the freezer,
right
underneath other things. I just thought these are going to be great, and the first weekend that I had those in there, knowing they're there, I got up on a Sunday morning. And my son had some buddies over the night before. All 6 boxes gone.
Oh, no, those little...
just gone.
They know.
Those little college stoners coming back home for the weekend
They
found
looked
my
under-
stash.
Yeah, they looked under that bag of peas that's been in there for 3 years. They actually went
Exactly
there.
right.
Yeah, you can't. That's
Gone.
fantastic.
Just 6 boxes and the thin plastic things and the little trays. Just a pile of those things on the counter in the kitchen. I was devastated.
I love it. All right, well, we're going to get into some great conversations then this morning. I like it. Mike Evans, Hollywood Report. That's all ready to go here at 6:30. Hang tight.
Connect with us on the KQ Talk and Text line. 651-989-ROCK. That's 651-989-ROCK. 92 KQRS.
I'm Steve Gorman. This is the KQ Morning Show. It is Friday, January the 12th. Good morning. Winter is upon us. Oh, man. Candace, you were just saying there's a bunch of snow coming in. The weather is about to get super chilly.
Oh, the news all night last
Saturday.
night was just like scare tactics all
know,
night.
they love
preparing
it.
for the storm, the big winter storm ahead. But, it's like you never really know what's going to happen.
No, the weather people, they're just like weather fluffers. They just want to get you all hot and bothered. And then more often than not, it's a bit over the top. But that's okay. I'd rather be over prepared than caught with my pants down, as they say. And with the wind chill, you want to keep those pants up. They're looking at, we're talking down to 25 below throughout Saturday with wind chills. So, let's bundle up, everybody. I have a feeling that's the last thing on Mike Evans' mind, as he's a Palm Springs. What do you call someone who just sits out in the sun in Palm Springs every day? A smart person, a genius. Yeah. Anyway, Mike Evans figured it out, and right now he's got a Hollywood report for all of us.
Hey, give it up. Up. Here is KQRS. Here's your report for Friday. Just a reminder, we are dark on Monday because of Martin Luther King Day. And here we go. This is your report for Friday. 3, 2, 1. Hey, good morning, Steve and Candace and Zepp. And, before we go any further, we have got to mention regarding the hot story that broke late yesterday afternoon that ESPN has been cheating for years to win Emmys. All I can say, all of this started after Disney bought them. Some would say dirty, rotten scoundrels. Disney. I've been saying that for the last couple of years. Okay, now we can talk about movies. And by the way, if you're going to a movie, you're going to be excited, not because of the movie, but just because you get to go to a Marcus Theater. Marcus Theaters are the best in the country, and those leisure seats almost put you to sleep. They're so comfortable. What will you see at Marcus Theaters? Well, here we go. Movie reviews. First movie is Beekeeper. It's a little violent, this movie. Vigilante, sometimes a little over the top, but I liked it. Jason Statham is good. Jeremy Irons is good. Rated R, 2 hours long. Beekeeper. Next is the new Mean Girls from Tina Fey. It's a little goofy. It's a little silly, but if you're under 30, I think you're going to find it very entertaining. Lots of laughs. Lots of hot girls. What else do you want? Rated PG-13. 2 hours long. 2.5 stars. But the best movie playing right now is Holdovers with Paul Giamatti. I really, really like that movie a lot. That's the movie to see. Me, you, a lot of people, most people are going to be watching a lot of football come this weekend. 6 great matchups in the opening round of the NFL playoffs. And I feel very confident in my picks this week. And here you go. We'll check them out next week to see how I did. Cleveland beats Houston in Houston. The Chiefs will beat Miami in Kansas City. And not just because of the horrible weather. The Chiefs are going to get it together. And Miami's just not that good. Buffalo blows Pittsburgh out of the water. Dallas beats Green Bay by 20. Detroit crushes the Los Angeles U's, also known as the Rams. And the hapless Philadelphia Eagles I think they get their act together and squeeze by Tampa Bay. Just a reminder, Monday is Dr. Martin Luther King Day, so we'll be taking the day off. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Have a great extended long weekend. Talk to you on Tuesday. Mike Evans, see ya.
The Mike Evans Hollywood Report sans Friday bongo song.
That's
I'm
right.
gonna need a
I
minute.
felt something was missing.
I'm gonna need a second here. Godspeed. Rest, please. Rest easy. Bongo, Hawaiian insanity song. I hope it comes back next week.
I better add
Hopefully
this.
this was just an oversight.
Aloha. Aloha.
Felt a little better.
The Holdovers. Evans mentioned that Paul Giamatti movie. Haven't seen it yet. Several friends have, and they agreed with Mike. It's absolutely fantastic. Have any of you guys seen this yet?
No, I like him so much, though.
Yeah. Apparently, it's just top notch. His NFL picks. I'm just going to call out two. He said Cowboys big over the Packers and Lions big over the Rams. We'll be talking about that next week. I think those are both completely off base, but that's just me. I could be wrong. What do I know? It's just all speculation at this point. I'm riding the Zep train. I'm not saying the Packers are going to win, but I'm taking that 7.5 points, baby. You can bet your bottom dollar that the Packers are going to cover that spread. And if they don't, then you didn't hear it from me. Real quick, as long as you're talking sports, did you guys know there is an entire series of romance novels that are hockey based? I'm not kidding. Here are some actual romance novel titles. Pucked. Pucked.
I love that.
I mean, there's pucking around. Power play. My favorite, behind the net. What does that imply? What's the euphemism for behind the net? Did you hear? They broke up. Well, she found him behind the net. I mean, what does that even mean? How does that apply?
A backdoor man, maybe?
Ooh, hold on. Yeah, I guess that might be it. My first thought was, slashing and smashing, slash the gash. That might be a bit much. Sorry, in the morning. There's just, wide open net, empty netter. Yeah.
That's good.
The hockey. I mean, and I know that, Minnesota's the state of hockey, a lot of love for the sport. I didn't know there was that kind of romance, though. But I'm happy to hear that there is. I mean, why should we discriminate against a certain type of folk, the people who are obsessed with hockey? They want romance novels. I'm just picturing Fabio dressed up with the pads, maybe in goal. What if at the end of the game, the goalie removes his mask to the roaring, 12,000 people strong, and it's Fabio. I mean, come on, that's good stuff.
Right. Celebrate.
I saw
the hockey
Fabio.
here.
I saw him at a grocery store once.
Yeah.
Fabio. I mean, for real. And man, I just could not stop staring at the guy. I was just like,
Sure.
That is not a Fabio
Oh my
lookalike.
God.
That is Fabio right there.
Was his hair blowing in the wind? I imagine even whether he's indoors or not, his hair is constantly just, has that blowing in the wind look.
Okay,
Yeah, and not.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry. I'm really
No,
excited.
please, Candace. If you're jumping in on Fabio talk, I want to hear it.
Okay, so tonight, when you guys are bored or whenever, right now, you have to YouTube Fabio, 1999, riding a roller coaster, and he gets hit by a goose while he's riding the roller coaster.
I've seen it.
Yeah, it's
Oh
famous.
my God, it's so funny and scary, and he's so upset about it. And
Yeah, it looks like he was in a hockey fight afterwards. Yeah, I love that one. That's fantastic. I did hear the other night when the Wild were losing to the Stars to be swept for the season. Come on, man. This might make a nice romance novel. One of the commentators said, and so takes a soft dump in the corner. Could we work that into a romance novel? Soft dump in the corner?
Sure. Yeah, that'll work. That'll work. That's how you. That's what the kind of thing that happens when you're testing a new relationship. You know what I mean? You just want to see where the parameters are. Just, honey, listen. I don't mind telling you this, but I just took a soft dump in the corner. Of course. Oh, you know what? I just got a text from a buddy who suggested the 5-hole. I mean, that one was just right there for us, wasn't it?
Yeah, there it is, right in the 5.
How about toothless?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good old
Ooh,
toothless.
a dumber.
Oh my God.
I like it. Looking forward to it.
Oh my God, Toothless in the Five Hole sounds like a good punk band name. All right, you know what? Let's look back. How about a quick history lesson? What do you say?
I'm in.
Oh, hang in there.
Tony,
I hear the clicking.
Let's do it.
Magic Fingers, Tony.
Let's do this. Let's do it good.
Listen, everybody.
I am Steve.
Now I'm going to teach you a lesson.
Oh, I'd be remiss if I didn't credit Captain Touchback for the five hole. All right, here we go. 1946, the Cleveland Rams were granted permission to move to Los Angeles. Okay, here's a fun fact. I hosted a sports talk radio show for a decade, and I learned today that the Rams came from Cleveland. I had no idea.
Huh.
Did anyone know the Rams started in Cleveland? Where the hell have I been?
No, did not.
1905, or when was that?
1946. Who knew?
Wow. No.
Who knew? So Cleveland had two teams for a while. That's totally insane. On the very same day in 2016, the NFL approved the St. Louis Rams to move back to L.A. Now, I'm going to give myself credit. I did know that the Rams were in St. Louis for a spell. So, it's not a total loss. On this day in 1975, Brian Zepp's Pittsburgh Steelers beat our beloved Minnesota Vikings in the Super Bowl. Way to go, Zepp.
Yeah, well, that
Nice.
had a lot to do with that. I was cheering them along. And who knew that I'd be making Minnesota home for most of my life after that? But go Steelers.
The Steel Curtain
Yeah.
Oh,
versus
gosh.
the Purple People Eaters. It was the defensive struggle. The final score was 16-6. The quote of the day came from Bud Grant, who said, "It wasn't a very good game. Both teams had enough chances to score and win, but the penalties, the interceptions, and the officials' bumbles, it was just a game of errors by all three teams." Wow. That's good. If you're going to throw the refs under the bus, throw your own team with them, and then everybody accepts it. That's kind of great.
Remember Ernie
this
Holmes
day in
had
2000
that shaved arrowhead in his on his skull?
Yeah, Ernie Arrowhead.
Oh, yeah,
Holmes.
that's
Ernie Holmes.
right.
Phenomenal.
Wow.
It's the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS. Zep, Tony, Candace, and Steve Gorman are the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS.
I'm Steve Gorman. This is the KQ Morning Show. Good Friday morning. It is January the 12th. A couple quick notes of local interest. First things first, the 2024 Minnesota Vikings, like every team in the NFL, will play 17 games. That's 8 games on the road and then 8 games at US Bank Stadium. Now, the more cagey listeners are going, wait a minute, Steve.
Yeah.
8 plus 8 equals 16. You said 17. Yeah, that's because one of the home games will actually be played in London, England.
Look out.
Minnesota heading to London to play at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium
What?
for the first time since 2022. If you're bumming because you're going to get 8 chances to see the Vikings at US Bank as opposed to 9, at least there's some solace in the fact that Minnesota is 3-0 in London games historically. So no word yet on who they're playing or the exact date, but the Vikings are going to London, and I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Let's all go. Come on, what do you say?
Oh, gosh.
I'll tell you what, as you all know, it was in England last October for a week, and I'm cruising around there, and I have this thing about Packers fans. No matter where you go on the planet, you can go to the very southern tip of the Antarctic pole, and you're going to find a Packers flag there. No matter where I go, I find some Packers representation, and I'm walking around London. I didn't know that Baltimore and Green Bay were playing in London at the time. Just hadn't been tracking that. And I start seeing Packers jerseys. I'm like, what? Are you kidding me? In Soho? I'm looking at what's going on here. I finally figured it out, and I did that where I looked at Maria for a moment and went, you want to go to a game? And maybe we can scalp some tickets. And she's like, we're in England to look at castles and, museums.
Right.
Pip, pip, cheerio. We're not going to a freaking NFL football game. And it was what it was. But yeah. Well, tell me about this stadium. What is this Tottenham? What are they? Obviously, it's a soccer stadium, but they have like 8 stadiums in London or London area.
Oh, way more than 8. I mean, there's so many soccer clubs in London. Tottenham Hotspur is a Premier League team. They are the arch rival of my favored Arsenal Gunners. So, to go to Tottenham is, for me, I'll go see the Vikings there, but it'll be under protest. you know,
Are you gonna
to
wear
stand
an
on that.
Arsenal jersey?
No, I'd like to come home in one piece, so I won't do that.
All right.
But anyway, so Vikings fans, they're going to announce they will announce the opponent as well as the date soon enough. But Vikings heading back over to London. Another quick local thing here. You're going to hear a lot about this, and we'll continue to hammer it. The weather is upon us. It is really, really cold. Single digits right now. Snow coming in. Wind coming in. Over the weekend, we're looking at wind chills about 35 below. So please stay focused and aware. I don't care how long you've been in these parts. I don't care how immune you are to it. 35 below is 35 below. Let's all be careful and stay on the up and up, shall we?
Yeah, no reason to be out in that stuff, not even if you're drinking schnapps. I will tell you that I see the snow's supposed to hit about 3 o'clock this afternoon. Man, if you don't guilt the boss into letting you out of work early today, I mean, use it in your favor. Hey, they're trying to use scare tactics, the meteorologists, right, to get us clicking back to the weather, checking back with Candace. Candace trying to scare the hell out of us this morning. I can't wait till our next forecast. I'm like, what's happening, Candace? Lay that on your boss. Pay it forward. Say, hey, man, if something happens to me on the way home, I better get out of here early.
You know what? This is a true story about this exact thing. And we already mentioned earlier on the show that it's Girl Scout cookie season. My daughter, when she was a young Girl Scout, I used to take her to like record companies and agencies, offices on Music Row, because you just got 50 people at a cubicle who were stuck, and a cute little girl coming up and going, do you want to buy some cookies? They couldn't resist. My daughter would just sell hundreds and hundreds of boxes to people in the music business because it was just a great scam. We were downtown at our agent's office. She was selling boxes by the dozens. It was a Friday afternoon after school, and all of a sudden the skies opened and it started to snow. And everybody that was already leaving work at 3:30 or 4 o'clock on a Friday then got hit with a real heavy downpour of snow. We hopped in the car to drive home. It was 4 miles away, and it took, I am not exaggerating, 3 hours.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
3 hours.
Oh, man.
Every car in the metropolitan area got on the roads at the exact same time as it was a downpour. We moved so slowly that my son was 10 and my daughter was 8, and we are sitting in bumper-to-bumper traffic, and it's like getting to be 5:15, 5:20, and we are sitting. We're on the road, but we're not moving. We're outside of a Papa John's, and I said to my son, I handed him a 20. I said, go get us a large cheese pizza. And he got out of the car, walked into a Papa John's, ordered a pizza, waited for it, and brought it back to the car. And we had moved 5 feet. I'm not exaggerating.
That's
and we just
right there, man.
And then we just ate a whole pizza, the three of us, me and both kids, just sitting in the old car, just eating a pizza, laughing at how nobody can drive in the snow, and everybody got in their car at the exact same time. It was insanity. If we had been low on fuel, it would have been problematic, but everything was okay.
Did you dip into your daughter's Girl Scout cookie fund for that $20?
It was I just pulled it out of the pocket. It was all checks and stuff. I should have.
Yeah.
No, but it was really funny because I said, "Hey, go in there and get a pizza." And he's like, "Are you serious?" I go, "Yeah, we're not going to be. Well, if anyone," I said, "Seriously, we'll be like 10 feet down the road." And to tell a 10-year-old that, he was like, it was like I asked him. I was basically saying, "I need you to go to the moon and bring back water." He was like, "Oh my God, this is the coolest moment of my life." It was awesome.
I can't imagine
he got out of that.
Yeah.
No, he got into that car as a 10-year-old boy, and he got out of that car a man. Let me tell you.
Now I see where he got the gumption to steal all your Thin Mints that you had cleverly hidden in the
Exactly.
in the freezer. Yeah, this kid learned a trick or two from Dad.
Yeah, he certainly did. Hey, you mentioned this a minute ago, Zep. This is a completely insane story.
Yeah.
And I would be remiss if I did not just give it the proper setup, because I don't remember anything like this. This is a lawsuit that's been going on for a while, and someone has been ordered to pay $3 million to a couple. Long story short, a couple in Massachusetts their name, the Steiners, David and Ina Steiner. And by the way, Ina Steiner, what a name. David and Ina Steiner, they have an online newsletter. It's called E-commerce Bytes. Bytes like BYTES. So they're tech people, they're tech reporters, and they just have an online newsletter. Basically a blog is what I'm saying. And they wrote an article in 2019 about a lawsuit involving eBay. And I guess they said a few things about eBay that people at eBay were very upset about. So what did eBay do? Well, they didn't, tell their employees, hey, never read e-commerce bytes anymore. They didn't have their employees, block e-commerce byte emails. No, they decided to get revenge. That's right. eBay sent live spiders, cockroaches, bloody pig heads, just to begin, and other things to this couple's house in Massachusetts. A U.S. attorney said in court, eBay engaged in an absolutely horrific criminal conduct. The company's employers and contractors involved in this campaign put the victims through pure hell in a petrifying campaign aimed at silencing their reporting and protecting the eBay brand.
What?
That's right. They sent a funeral wreath to the house, bloody pig face Halloween masks. They also sent pornographic magazines subscriptions to the husband's name. They had plans. Prosecutors discovered plans to break into the couple's garage to install a GPS device on their car.
Oh my God, like psycho
listen to this.
ex-stalker.
Yes. Ina Steiner had a Twitter account. She received harassing and threatening messages. She got dozens of strange emails from places from like an irritable bowel syndrome patient support group, as well as the Communist Party of the United States.
Right,
Live,
funny.
That is pretty funny. The IBS thing is pretty great. Boxes of live spiders and cockroaches.
Yeah.
There was a book about surviving the loss of a spouse that came to their door addressed to Ina. Their home address was posted online with announcements inviting strangers to yard sales and parties. Again, this is not a rival blog. This is eBay doing this.
It's a bad review. My God, bad reviews are a dime a dozen. Jump on Amazon sometime. And I was reading in the lawsuit, by the way, this wasn't some rogue eBay employee, that just, went off the deep end sitting there at the keyboard one day. This went all the way up into upper management. This was a planned conspiracy to absolutely destroy this couple that was writing a blog that was critical of eBay in 2019. I mean, it's psychotic.
Completely insane.
How?
Completely insane.
Yeah,
there's revenge, and then there's revenge. I mean, seriously, the best part of this is the line that eBay was trying to protect the brand's reputation. This is an interesting way to do that.
Yeah.
And by the way, eBay has been ordered to pay these folks $3 million
a day. I mean, that's it. $3 million. This sounds like a $300 million kind of deal. I mean, for all of that stuff that they did to this couple.
Yeah. I thought it could have been a little bit more myself. The charges that were brought against eBay: criminal stalking, witness tampering, and obstruction of justice. I mean, I just hear I'm hearing the Law and Order gown.
Yeah, right.
It's just incredible to me.
I'm reading further down the story. The investigation did lead, thankfully, to felony convictions for 7 individuals, all former eBay employees or contractors, and the ringleader sentenced to 57 months in federal prison. Good. I mean, sometimes the justice system gets it right.
Okay, I hadn't seen the 57 months part. My apologies. I buried the lead. 57 months. I mean, and by the way, I'm all for someone who loves their job that much, But I'm just going to tell you right now, okay? Listen, just be forewarned. If I get online and I see somebody ripping the KQ Morning Show, I'm just going to move on with my day. I'm just going to try to be better. You know what I mean? I'm just going to look at the next segment as a chance to get that listener back. I don't plan to involve live cockroaches and spiders in my response. That's just me.
You're not going to place a Craigslist ad inviting strangers to their home for sexual encounters? Nothing like that?
I don't think so. I mean, well, now that you mention it, that actually does sound kind of fun. But no, I think I'll take the higher path here. I think I will move along with my day. And again, I will leave out live insects and spiders. That is just astounding to me.
Yeah, that's about as nutty as it gets. Well, that brings us around to revenge. I mean, my little motorcycle tank bashed in with a hammer for cheating on a girlfriend pales in comparison to that one. But we love the petty revenge stories. Any little bit of revenge out there, whatever it involves, we'd love to hear about it on the talk and text line. We got some great stories to get to this morning. They wrapped up that Consumer Electronics Show in Vegas. Yeah, I love going through some of that stuff. We're going to have to cherry pick some of those weird things that suddenly I want to buy really, really bad. But guess where I'm not going to buy them off of? eBay. Not doing it.
Yeah, no kidding.
We got a game show at 8 o'clock, too. Hang tight.
Connect with us on the KQ Talk and Text line. 651-989-ROCK. That's 651-989-ROCK. 92 KQRS.
I'm Steve Gorman. This is the KQ Morning Show for Friday, January the 12th. The CES show in Vegas has wrapped up. That is the Consumer Electronics Show. It happens every January in Las Vegas, and this is a huge, ginormous convention center filled with all of the new gadgets that nobody on Earth needs, and only a few of us probably actually want, but it is fascinating. There are so many weird things that really, really smart folks are sitting around thinking about inventing that I will never understand. And just to share a few of these things with you, these are all real inventions. These are not beta testing. These are things that are ready to hit the market this year. Just off the top, LG has announced a new television. It is a 77-inch screen, and it is fully transparent.
Whoa, I want one.
Transparent. Here's the deal. It says the point of this is that it creates an illusion of your room looking larger than it would be without a regular screen. It's 77 inches, but when it's turned off, the TV somehow blends into the environment and it makes you forget it's even there. You can look literally through it as if it's glass. Wow. And you don't see anything inside it. The TV is fully wireless. You don't have to plug anything in. I'm not going to try to explain how this works, but I've seen it. You put it up against a wall, whatever's on that wall behind the TV, when the TV's turned off, you see the wall. It literally looks just like a piece of glass. And then you hit a button on a remote, and it turns into a 77-inch TV screen. Now, I don't know who needs that. I do know that I can make fun of it. And as soon as I go into someone's home and they have it, I'm going to want one. That's just how this stuff works.
Right. I'm a little torn on it because I love new tech. I'm the guy that buys the stuff that I don't need. I have an entire room dedicated in the house to just electronic crap. Some of it hasn't even been unboxed. It's a sickness. It's an illness I need to seek out. But if I have a 77-inch 8K TV or whatever the next big thing is, I kind of want people to see it when they walk in. Oh, that thing, that big 77, I just bought that. It's state of the art. But, I mean, Fahrenheit, what was it? Fahrenheit 451, where people would walk into their homes and their walls were just the television. You just turned on your wall. We're getting closer. The future's here now.
You know, that reminds me, too. Have you seen these things over the last couple of years? There's technology that the word is it will be utilized in airplanes. First, starting off with private planes, but maybe even moving into commercial airliners, where the entire inner shell of the plane, like when you sit in your seat right now and you look at a wall with windows, the inner core of the plane, they can make it look kind of like the Sphere in Vegas. You can put an image up there, so it will look like the plane is made of glass, and you will literally be looking out at the actual world around you.
Oh, right. No. Oh, my God. As if getting stoned for a flight wasn't exciting enough. No, it's just going to get
So imagine this. It's a ton of cameras and those incredibly high-res imaging, just like the Sphere in Las Vegas, that giant Earth-shaped venue that from the outside they can put any image up there. It looks amazing, like a giant eyeball or a giant Santa Claus, whatever it is. But imagine being in a plane where when you look at what you think is going to be a window in the wall and the ceiling and the floor, it's actually outside the plane what you would see.
No.
You could look straight down 30,000 feet.
You could do flames or
no?
a flock of pelicans.
No one's going to be able to agree, and I want total darkness on the plane. I'm not one of you guys that are...
No, you're right, Zepp. You can, or Tony, you can put up, you could make it look like as this plane is flying, like you're flying through the Death Star, like Luke Skywalker, trying to launch that miracle shot. I think it's amazing.
Yes.
Yeah, it sounds really cool. Now we've got that little screen that sometimes works in front of us. Imagine this. I mean, you're going to want to take a flight just to take a flight. Hell, I'll fly to Duluth on the weekend just to, take a trippy spherical journey
No,
on that
I think
thing.
it would get old.
Yeah, well, and Candace, people might freak out more. I mean, we have people freaking out. There's another story today. We didn't even do it. Someone did not defecate on a plane, but some overseas flight, a guy got on, and instead of taking a seat, he just opened the door and fell 20 feet to the tarmac. Yeah, people are freaking out. Now we're going to add this super sensory experience. Yeah, well,
like I said, if it's ever applied in real life, it will start on like private planes. That'll be something like you better own the plane if you're going to try it. But down the road, we'll see. Here's one from the Consumer Electronics Show that I think is actually pretty awesome. Although bird watchers will hate it with everything they have, and it's this: Swarovski Optic. Swarovski Optic is the name of the company. They have AI-supported binoculars. Check this out. It combines quality of the Swarovision with digital intelligence. The identification function helps you to identify birds and other animals at the touch of a button. You put the binoculars up to your eyes, you look up and you go, oh my God, look on that tree branch. That's a bird. Hit a button, and the binoculars tell you what kind of bird it is. That's kind of cool.
I mean, these things are happening. I did not go to the CES in Las Vegas, obviously. I think it's just wrapping up today. But over the break, I did go to an electronics show where they were showcasing some of this stuff. And these smart glasses, forget your phones. They were going to be looking at these things like, remember when we used to carry these things around and stare at them all the time? It's coming to glasses. It's all just going to be in a pair of glasses in less than 5 years. And we're going to ditch our phones. And I had on a pair of glasses where I could make as many calls as I want. If you asked me a question, Steve Gorman asked me a question, what's the price of milk in Zimbabwe this morning? My glasses answered it by the time you finished your sentence, and up in the right-hand corner, just a little bit, it gave me the answer. So I can answer immediately without missing a beat. In other words, I'm the smartest person in the world, and I don't have to look at my phone. It's all in my glasses. Directions, right there in your glasses. You can still see, but it's giving you a little. It's nutty stuff, and it's coming quickly.
There goes the Guinness Book of World Records. No need to argue in pubs and taverns with strangers about who missed the field goal in 1962 that would have sent the Browns into the playoffs.
Yeah,
Your glasses will just answer it.
No more good buzz debates. You're right, where you sit around. No, dude, you're remembering wrong. What actually happened? No, it's good. It's just going to be dull. You're going to ask the question.
Because right now, the way it is now, you have to look at your phone, and the guy you're arguing with knows you're looking at your phone. But if you're wearing the glasses, you just come across as if you are, you are the professor of all things human. I mean, that's just incredible. That guy won't know what your glasses are telling you.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh man, crazy.
Crazy
kids.
And some of these things, I'm not for a big one on regulation. At some point, the government's going to step in with the internet, especially with AI now rocking and rolling out there. But some of these things we just shouldn't have. Someone should say, stop. Don't develop a smart stroller that pushes itself around and rocks your baby to sleep for you, so the parents don't even have to be involved. Because I'm looking at my smart glasses. Smart stroller, can you please take the baby for a walk and rock it to sleep? I mean, it's $3,000, but it's already CES, the show. They rolled it out. Here it is.
When I was in Arizona, they have those self-driving cabs, and I wanted to take one so bad. Like, I'm kind of scared, but I wanted to do it so bad, and my friends wouldn't let me.
No, they were
scary.
Freaked out. Yeah, well. Yeah, Arizona's been on the forefront of that.
I'm kind of on the mindset of the self-driving cars. The problem isn't those cars; it's the humans driving near them that they won't be able to react to.
Well, that's enough. A very good
No,
point. Right.
I mean, if every car on the road is on the same satellite system and self-drive, that seems to me safer than the average 16-year-old driving next to a self-driving car that has no ability to create a reasonable expectation for what a 16-year-old driver might do. And then there's just going to be all kinds of problems. Hey, Zepp, this stroller you just mentioned, it's called the Glückskind, which is German for lucky child. No,
It's a
I'm sorry.
child.
Yeah, you're not a lucky child if your parents think they need a stroller that pushes itself. It's like a self. I remember the first time I got a lawnmower that was self-propelled. You stand behind. It's a push mower, and you grab the little thing, and then and I felt so guilty. I was like, "Is it really come to this where I can't even push a lawnmower anymore?" And then now this is the same thing. It's a stroller that just moves itself, and it rocks the kid to sleep, or it goes back and forth. Here's the funniest part. There's a camera on the front handle that is used to detect whether the person pushing the stroller is authorized to do so. And if you put your hand on it, it knows your fingerprints. So no one but the parent or another parent-approved human can make the stroller move, which is the problem here. This begs the question, when's the last time someone stole a baby in its stroller? No, you take the baby from the stroller and run. That's how it works in every movie I've ever seen. No one takes the stroller with them.
Good point. Good point.
I'm sorry. My first thought is, well, you're not stopping anybody. No one's running off with the stroller in hand. I mean, come on, that's just overthinking. How about this? There is a mirror. There is a mirror. You put it on your wall, and this is what you're supposed to do every morning. You stare into the mirror for 30 seconds. There's not a script. You don't have to say, mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the greatest Steve of them all. It's not that. You stare at the mirror. It scans the blood flow patterns in your face for 30 seconds, and then the mirror will give you an assessment of your health. It will tell you if you're stressed. It tells you your blood pressure, your risk of stroke, hypertension, type 2 diabetes. It gives you your overall metabolic health rate and then a general health score. And the people behind this mirror say, listen, it's not a proper diagnosis, but it's really intended to simply be an assessment tool. If you're starting every day by staring into a mirror to get your overall metabolic health risk, that's going to be stressful.
Yeah.
It's going to raise my hypertension will jackrabbit if I'm looking into a mirror waiting for it to give me a full report. That's not healthy for me. Not a chance.
Never more in human history has the old phrase, ignorance is bliss, meant more. Yeah. The more we know, I think the more it's going to just drive society mad.
And call me crazy.
Yeah.
No, I was going to say, I imagine this mirror talking to me with a German accent. And like, I see a little blemish on your forehead. Peanuts again. You've got to stop with the peanuts, Steve. I mean, right. I don't need a mirror to straighten my life out. It's just, you're right, man. Ignorance is a pure bliss with this stuff.
I want the lying mirror, the one that makes me look 25 years, like I'm 25 years old and says, dude, you're rocking it. Go kill it today. I'll take that mirror. Although this one.
I hate, Zepp, I'll be honest with you. Every mirror is that mirror for me, baby.
Those rose-colored glasses you look through. This one, we did a story last year about the biggest reasons married couples don't sleep together is the snoring. How about a pillow that moves your head around for you while you sleep to stop you from snoring? No more poke, jab in the ribs, kick in the shin. The pillow will just make a soft adjustment, and that's interesting. Maybe there's something there.
I think maybe it's just electric shock therapy. They want you to think it's going to rotate your neck and make you move. It's really just giving you a bzz, bzz, bzz.
Yeah.
That's all that is.
Wake up with a sore neck. All right, we're going to drive by. Hey, it's game show time. Listen to this. Right now on the KQ92 Talk and Text line, callers 9-2-651-9899-ROCK. We're playing for a $100 Visa gift card and your own copy of Blank Slate. This is the basis for a new show hosted by Mario Lopez, weeknights at 5 on the Game Show Network. Prize provided by Impact Promotions and Marketing. So don't forget to watch Blank Slate weeknights 5 Central on the Game Show Network, 651-989-ROCK. Dial up. Good luck and hang tight.
It's the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS. Zep, Tony, Candace, and Steve Gorman are the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS.
I'm Steve Gorman. This is the KQ Morning Show for Friday, January the 12th. Good morning. The Minnesota Vikings are heading to London for one game this season. Don't have the date, don't have the opponent, but there will be 8, not 9 home games at US Bank Stadium, as one of those home games has been designated for London. Locally, a little more close to right now. Oh, it's cold, baby, and the snow is a-coming. This is going to be quite a weekend. The winter weekend we've all been waiting for, it's finally here. So, act and dress appropriately. How about that? Shall we? Man, I'll be honest with you. I've been waiting for it. I'm excited. I come to Minnesota a year ago. I got belted. I had snow up the wazoo for my first winter in Minnesota, and this one's left me a little wanting. We'll just leave it with that. So I'm excited.
You got your new choppers to wear this year too, right?
Oh,
man, I got a pair of choppers up in Brainerd. Are you kidding me? These things are badass choppers.
Hey, can I just back up to the Vikings game? A question popped into my mind. I know we're not supposed to back up, rewind, but I'm going to do it. If you're a season ticket holder, do you get tickets to the London game? No, they're not going to fly you over there, but I mean, you paid for all those home games. I wonder if you get. You probably not, right?
I think you have. I would imagine that you have the option. Like you have first dibs. You can probably turn them down. You don't have to pay for them. There's no way they could make you pay for tickets.
Gotcha.
That you're not going to be able to use. But I would imagine you get first dibs. Sure.
Okay.
I would have to think that's the case.
Cool.
I got a couple friends over in England, and every year when the NFL games start over there, they start texting. They love it. I mean, and it took a while, because it just was looked upon with, curiosity and sort of, oh, what are the Yanks up to now? But it really has taken a toehold. There's a real toehold. I mean, my English friends who are just as obsessed with soccer and rugby and cricket and tea and all that nonsense British people love, they are really getting into the NFL. This thing is a slow burn, and apparently even more so in Germany. They've been playing games in Germany the last few years.
Yeah.
And word on the street from folks I know is that the NFL really strongly thinks Germany is going to be a fantastic market in the future for what they call appropriately American football. So it remains to be seen. But I'd rather take a trip to Germany than England. I'm a sucker for German sausages. What can I tell you?
Oh, that does sound good. Big old stein of beer with that. Mm.
Yeah, they're closer. Their general snacking is closer to what I'm looking for in a football game anyway. The brats, come on. I mean, a bratwurst in Berlin, watching the Vikings play down the road, that'd be fantastic.
Get her done.
It's just me. Okay, you know what? There is a new game show by Mario Lopez called Blank Slate. It's weeknights at 5 Central on the Game Show Network. And they've got a little something special for us. Tony, why don't you explain what's about to happen here on the KQ Morning Show?
Okay, why not? Like little Stevie said, there is a fun new game show weeknights at 6/5 Central on Game Show Network called Blank Slate, and it's hosted by the one, the only Mario Lopez. It's about matching clever fill-in-the-blank answers with your teammates, getting some help from various comedian guests like Greg Fitzsimmons, Ron G., Dave Holmes, Dwayne Perkins, to name a few. And getting a bonus for also matching the top answer with the people at home who have been previously polled. We're going to play a radio version of Blank Slate right now, and Candace has listeners ready to go, and then I'll explain how the game works. Groovy.
Right on. Okay, Candace, who's contestant number 1?
All right, Dan from Minnetonka.
Morning.
Dan, good morning, sir. How are you?
Doing well.
Great. Are you ready to play a little Blank Slate?
I'm a little nervous, to be honest, but I'm going to give it a go.
Don't. It ain't scary.
We got you, brother. Breathe deeply and let Uncle Tony talk you right through this. Tony, let Dan know what he's up for.
All right, little Dano. What we're going to do is I'm going to read a fill-in-the-blank question and ask the czar of bizarre, Steve Gorman, to write down his answer. And then if you can match the same answer as Steve or the people at home top answer, you're going to win $100 and a blank slate board game.
Okay.
I think you can dig it.
All right, fair enough. It's just that simple.
All right, here's your question. Here's your first one. Some people love cats and dogs, but I'm a little different. I love having a blank and a blank as pets in my house.
You said cats and dogs, but a blank and blank in my house?
Some people love cats and dogs, yeah, but I'm a little different. I love having a blank and a blank as pets in my house.
Fish and birds.
Fish and birds. Is that what you said, Mr. Steve-O?
Fish and birds. No, I actually went with a snake and a mongoose. But,
Really close.
that's just how I roll.
The people at home answer was snake and a lizard.
What the heck?
So,
this
yeah.
game is so weird.
It is bizarre,
I said
yes.
what Dan said.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really? Yeah. I was thinking snakes and spiders. I don't like spiders and snakes, and that ain't what it takes to love me.
Oh, right.
Apparently, Steve likes a house in constant conflict, a snake and a mongoose.
Yeah, I can only get away with having snakes eliminated by saying it's my pet and acting sad, but that's what the mongoose comes in. I'm team mongoose always, both in wildlife and dragsters.
Right, the dragsters. All right, Danny boy, here's your second question. See how you do here. Colonel Sanders is looking for a new captain to join his ranks. He thinks Captain Blank would be perfect.
Oh, boy. Captain Crunch.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Oh,
Steve-O?
that's excellent, and exactly what I wrote down. Captain Crunch.
Serious?
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
of course.
Danny's the big
Well,
winner.
it's 8 a.m. I'm not going to go Captain Hook yet. I'm thinking cereal.
Zero, but I thought it was a long shot.
No, you did well.
Yeah.
Good job.
Oh, not bad.
Wow.
We're getting the hang of
$100.
this thing.
Damn, that's a C note and a board game. Well played, sir.
Very nice, Daniel. And don't forget to watch Blank
Yeah.
Slate weeknights at 6/5 Central on Game Show Network.
Great. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, you got it. Thank you, sir. Do we have another caller, or are we done? Is it one winner and out? I don't know how
just
this works.
one winner. That's that.
Oh, well then, fair enough, man. Coming in strong, Dano. Well played.
We'll be doing again next week, though.
All right, excellent. The best part of Captain Crunch is, of course, draining that milk after the cereal.
Yes, the sugary milk.
The sugar milk. Oh, that's
I
that's
like pain.
that's better than mother's milk.
You like pain?
I like pain, so that's why I eat Captain Crunch. You know what I'm saying?
Just
Tear
raw.
up the roof of your mouth. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get it. Although there is something to be said for back in the day. Of course, we had very sugary cereal when I was growing up, and my mom, a lot of times, poor farm kids, we'd get the Cheerios, but then you could add your own sugar. And you talk about that milk at the bottom. That was just like, it was glop. I would put so much sugar in there, and just the milk you would drink was just a sugary glop. Good stuff.
Candace, real quick, you like pain, so you eat Captain Crunch. You do know you can put milk on it, right?
No way. Ew. Gross. My whole childhood, I would just be popping them in my mouth.
handfuls.
Like handfuls of it. Is the best.
I'll tell you what, when I get the peanut butter Captain Crunch, it's not uncommon to have the box just sitting on the counter open, and every time I go by, the hand goes in, out comes a handful of peanut butter Captain Crunch. I get you.
I haven't had peanut butter crunch in a long time. Do you remember Nilla Crunch?
Yes.
The vanilla flavored with the white whale
Yes.
was the mascot, or
I love
whatever
that.
you'd call it.
It's unnatural.
Yeah,
I
Nilla.
remember
Yeah,
that was
good.
strong. There was,
Moby Dick.
and then of course there was Jean Lafitte's Cinnamon Crunch. Jean Lafitte, the French Canadian pirate, or whatever the hell that guy was.
Yes.
Yeah.
On the foot.
Yeah, that was strong. They had all the crunch. The Crunch family was a big part of the Gorman life as children. Make no mistake about it. We mentioned earlier in the show a completely insane story where some eBay executives decided to wreak revenge on some bloggers who wrote a bad review of eBay. And they are now, one guy's in prison for 57 months and the company's paying $3 million in restitution. And it got us thinking about revenge. There are some pretty great Facebook comments from listeners about revenge. But Tony, I think you have a text you wanted to share.
I do. This is a sweet one. Carla from South Minneapolis. An ex did me wrong, so I hired a friend to go into his fancy big office and hit him in the face with a pie.
Awesome.
In front of the staff.
Yes,
Yeah, that is a great one.
That is fun. Ron here on the KQ Facebook post. Zep, I have a good payback from trucking days. Customer didn't want to pay for a pickup and delivery of some products. Billed him several times. Finally told him one day and one way I will collect my payment. He asked if that was a threat. I said, no, it's a promise. Well, about 6 months into it, I took a load to his place with red spray paint. I wrote paid in full on his overhead door. Then I proceeded to back a full load of lumber about 20 feet through the door. I've left out the business name and location. I have to protect Ron. You're a serious man, Ron. High five, brother.
Ooh. Yeah, no question. Man.
Yeah, don't mess with truckers.
On the road or off at no time. No,
Right.
there's nothing at all on earth. One of my good friends from high school, his dad was a trucker, and he did have a lot of stories that are not mine to share, but there would just be like anecdotes about so and so happened at the truck stop, and revenge is a dish best served cold, and truckers apparently they all have memories of elephants, and when you cross someone on the road. They cross paths. They kind of live in their own secret world. It's right there in front of us, but if you're not in, you don't know. And my buddy's dad would tell us stories about, 6 months would pass before he would get back at someone, and just a minor thing like, the guy at the Flying J, I was in the shower and the staff guy did something, and I, as a kid, I would just kind of hear some of these, and I would just think about. It was kind of like talking to Captain Jack Sparrow. I looked at him like he was a pirate, and I was like, "Man, these guys are just living right there." It was like it was a what do you call it? A multiverse, like a multi-universe. You're right next to me, but you live in an entirely different planet, and all the rules and protocols of that world and that universe. It was fascinating. I was just like, "Man, don't mess with a trucker." I mean, I just came away from it thinking, I don't know anything about that world. And they know I don't know anything about it, and I can't compete on any level.
No. I mean, you brought it up earlier this week back in sports and music history. C.W. McCall, Convoy. It's all right there in the song. Just listen to the song. Don't mess with Pigpen. Here's one from Shane on the KQ Facebook post. We're talking about some revenge stories this morning. While serving in the U.S. Army on active duty, I observed a revenge up close. A married E7, that's a rank. You're up there in the sergeants somewhere. I decided it was in his best interest to have a little side fling. With an E4. His wife found out, as did the entire company. One day while sitting in the office, we all heard a major smashing of glass, pounding of metal. I looked out the window to see this sergeant's wife outside in the parking lot near his brand new Camaro, smashing the thing to pieces with a sledgehammer. Not a single piece of glass was left untouched. The hood, doors, trunk, and fender all smashed. Needless to say, the E7 knew not to take a single step outside at that moment. You just got to watch it happen. Yeah, I feel his pain. Wow. Yeah, don't mess with an
Dreams,
army.
dreams,
Yeah.
dreams die hard, man. I mean, that, like she said, thought that was going to make sense. It really didn't. And by the way, speaking of a dream dying hard, a Brazilian man is no longer with us. He had a dream. This is a true story. He had a dream that, that there was gold deep underneath his home. Okay. He woke up. This is a 71-year-old man in Brazil who woke up and said, I just had a dream that there's gold buried deep underneath my home, and I have to dig down to get it. He told his neighbor about the dream, and then they were laughing about it. But he was able to actually convince his neighbor, no, I think this is real, and I want you to help me. So here's the story. 71-year-old guy wakes up, tells his neighbor, guess what? There's gold under my house. I dreamed about it. The neighbor somehow says, I think you're right. Let's dig a hole under your house. He plunged down a deep shaft that he had dug in his kitchen. And when I say plunged, I mean he plunged 40 meters deep.
Whoa.
Oh,
that's 120 feet. This is how far they dug down for days and days. And at one point, the guy was standing there, and he was like, well, I guess it's time to climb back down the hole. And he fell and died.
What if they were just off by a few feet? I mean, how do you know where to dig? It's in your dream, right?
When do you quit?
You know the exact spot. You quit when you're dead, I guess.
My first thought was, what if on impact he cracked a little, like that was what cleared that last 6 inches of dirt where the gold was found. His neighbor's like, finally, the gold.
Oh, no.
I'm rich.
Oh,
You just never know.
If you
Hey,
had a
right
dream
now
like
on
that, wouldn't you pursue
go ahead.
that? If you had a dream like that, wouldn't you be drawn to pursue that?
You know, oddly enough, Tony, no, I wouldn't. I'm trying to think. I have so many bizarre dreams. If I woke up with a dream that was telling me to dig for gold, I wouldn't be surprised because I do have weird dreams like that all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've ever acted upon a dream other than the time that I did have a dream, and this is way back. I did have a dream that I was involved in a relationship with Brooke Shields, probably 9th or 10th grade. She was just new on the scene.
Yeah.
And this is a true story. I found myself at the Greyhound bus station, and I just happened to ask what a ticket to New Jersey cost. Just to be safe, because
Wow.
I knew that she lived in New Jersey. That's as far as I ever took it, okay? So I'm not weird. I'm not a stalker. I'm not
No.
telling the story 40-some-odd years later. There's nothing wrong with that. It was an innocent query.
Sure.
You never know when you're going to have to go to New Jersey and track down a 14-year-old starlet.
Oh, wow.
Right now on the KQ92 talk and text line, if you text the word guitar to 651-989-ROCK, you can have a chance to win tickets to Badfinger featuring Joey Molland. That show is this Saturday, January 13th. That's tomorrow night at the St. Croix Casino, Danbury. Text guitar to 651-989-ROCK right now.
I love it. Hey, here at 9 o'clock, we're pretty excited about having Aaron Weber in from Nashville, a comedian, regular performer at the Grand Ole Opry. In fact, he's actually the youngest comedian to ever perform at the Opry. Also a co-host of one of my favorite comedians, Nate Bargatze's podcast. So Aaron Weber going to join us at 9 o'clock. Coming here at 8:30. Everything you need to know about Girl Scout cookie season. We'll run it down for you. Also, if you have an irrational fear of being punched in the face, this might be your time of the year. I have some good news regarding February. Hang tight.
Connect with us on the KQ Talk and Text line. 651-989-ROCK. That's 651-989-ROCK. 92 KQRS.
I'm Steve Gorman. This is the KQ Morning Show for Friday, January the 12th. Hey, listen, great news for anybody out there that tends to get punched in the face. You know, you're a Weisenheimer, you have a few too many, you spout off, you can't help yourself, and you just have a face that looks good to punch. If that's you, the good news is in a couple of weeks it's going to be February, and then you're in the clear for a while.
Yeah.
I'm not making this up. Emergency room data/data. Which is it? Are we data or data people?
Data.
I like data.
Hey.
Yeah, I like data.
Okay,
Okay,
funds.
fair enough. Emergency room data has found the month where you're least likely to get punched in the face. I'm not making this up. Is February. Fewer people get punched in the face than February than any other month.
Wow.
Now, see, this is good people putting their smarts to good use.
Yeah.
I don't care about half the things I learn in a day, but I do like to know when it's when the coast is clear for getting smacked in the face. And February is the month. Most likely, if you're wondering when you're going to get your ass handed to you, most likely it's May and July. Those are the 2 months when you're most likely to get beat up.
I wonder why that is. I wonder why not but February we're just not lippy. We're not going out. We're just not interacting with people as much.
That's exactly right. It's the coldest month. Everyone's miserable and usually at home by 6 when it's dark. And 6 o'clock in February is like midnight in the summer. You know what I mean? You already feel like it's already dark. It's pitch black and it's super late. There's just fewer opportunities to either take a swing at someone or to have someone take a swing at you. So again, for all you Weisenheimers out there who can't keep your mouth shut, just hang on till February 1st, and then you're in the clear for a while. May and July, generally speaking, May makes perfect sense. That's really the first month where you do have warmer weather. The flowers start to bloom. People are outside later and longer. And what says, hey, spring is here more than having a couple extra cocktails and getting into a hook? You know what I mean?
I can't wait. I love spring. And you know what? We're closer than you think. I mean, July is just flying by. And pretty soon February will be done, and then it's March, and then my birthday, and then May.
See what
and
you
then,
did there? You see what you did
Honey.
there, Candace?
Yeah.
Honey,
July.
listen, put down the Bloody Mary, okay?
Do you even know
You
what
just
you
said July is
Yeah.
flying by.
I did. Oh
Yeah,
my
you
God.
did. With enthusiasm.
I'm going to punch you right in the mouth.
Oh, sorry.
Wait a second. No.
I'm just saying, time's flying by,
Yeah.
and you know what? And we're tough. We can get through this, and then actually, but now I regret my words because if my birthday is in the spring, and that's why I like the spring. But I'm turning 33, you guys. Ew, isn't that old as heck?
Tony Dorsett.
Man.
Yeah.
I went straight to the captain, Jabbar, but at least we're on the same wavelength, you and me, Zep.
Yeah, I got you. 3-3. Cry me a river. That's nothing, man. 3-3. I was still alive. I was charging hard.
Jesus.
I was out there getting punched in the mouth when I was 33 for crying out loud.
Grandma Candace.
Jeez. Listen to you.
That's 33, man. That's Jesus' year, you know. So
Really?
that's when he met his untimely end.
Nailed him up there.
When I hear 33, when I think of 33, I think of my captain, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and I think of my Lord and Savior Jesus. That's where I go in that order.
Yeah, and think they crucified him in the spring too, right? Wasn't in February, was in the spring. So watch your ass, Candace.
All right.
No, Jesus had a good February. It was fine. Hey, listen. Not only this is something that kind of ties in. This is something I saw the other day. There's another survey that ranked the 50 states on family friendliness, the 50 best states, using a number of factors like median family income, child care costs, divorce rates, violent crime per capita. And anyway, here's the top 10 states, the best states to raise a family. There's a connection here. Here's number 1 through 10. Massachusetts, North Dakota. Number 3, Minnesota. Nebraska, New York, Maine, New Hampshire, South Dakota, Rhode Island, Vermont. Those are the 10 best states to raise a family. What do they all have in common? They're freaking cold in the winter. These are all winter states.
Yeah.
The other end of the spectrum, New Mexico, Mississippi, West Virginia. These are not areas. Well, West Virginia's got some mountains. Alabama making an appearance. Yeah, the warmer the state, the less the poorer the environment to raise a family. So, yeah, there's a lot to be said for being somewhere cold. Less likely to get your ass kicked, better place to raise the kids. Who knew?
I'm sold. That's it. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, Dad used to always say, you know, these hard winters, it keeps the riffraff out. It makes them sit it out every once in a while. Like, you're right. You're not out creating mayhem, and it kind of forces the family together. Sure, there's some tension. There's some cabin fever, but what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. You come out a better family on the other end for it, with a few stories anyway. I'm buying in. I get it.
Another reason people are in better moods in February is that is prime Girl Scout cookie season.
Yeah.
It runs through April, but February is when it really ramps up. This year, Girl Scout cookies, you will not be able to buy the Raspberry Rally. It's been discontinued.
You know what?
First I've ever heard of it.
Yeah, good riddance. I mean, that's all right. Do we know the lineup this year? I mean, because I'm always for me it's the lemon thin mints, of course, obviously, duh.
Yeah.
Just do a better job of hiding them from the kid, as we learned out from Steve earlier in the show. In the freezer under the peas doesn't get the job done. But I like the lemon variations. Each year they come out with a new lemon one, and you're like, oh, I love the last year's. Then you try this year's.
Yeah, well, there's 2 on the list this year. There's lemonades and lemon ups.
Beautiful.
I don't know the difference, but you know they're thinking of you.
I do.
Please explain, Candace.
Well, the lemonades have the icing on the cookie, and the other
cool
ones
with
do
that.
not.
Okay.
All right. Yeah.
Oh, well, fair enough.
Yes.
There's a cookie called an Adventureful, like the word adventure with an FUL tacked on. That's new to me as well. I just ordered a bunch of cookies. I ordered 16 boxes of Girl Scout cookies, in fact, and I've never heard of half the ones on this list, which just goes to show I clearly just looked at the ones I recognized and fired away. Caramel chocolate chip. I never seen that one before.
Oh, baby.
Caramel chocolate chip. It sounds good, but I was unaware of it.
What's the caramel
trying to
coconut
think, what else?
rings? I like those.
Oh,
it's right on
okay.
the tip of my tongue.
There's one.
Samoas?
Samoas.
There-
What did
there-
I say?
Oh, Samoa. Yeah, no,
Except
those
July.
are. I'm big on the Samoas.
Yeah.
There's one called Toasty. Toast Yay. Toast Yay. I get excited when I make toast. I have said the words hooray for toast before. That's
Sure.
true. But I've never heard of a Toast Yay cookie. I wonder if that's like a Kanye. No connection.
Toast,
Never
yay.
mind.
Do you recall any Girl Scout cookies you didn't like? I mean, we're just like, this is garbage. I can't even finish this sleeve. I'm trying to think. There were some do-si-dos I remember for a while that were just a little too dry for my taste.
Yeah.
There's a peanut butter cookie. But yeah,
I like a
Reese.
Reese cup. I like peanut butter on a lot of things, but yeah, I'm not a fan of the do-si-dos. I'll have one every time and be like, what's the tag along? What's that one? I'm not. I know it, but I don't know it.
They're like the peanut butter patties. It's like a Reese's kind of, but it's
it doesn't work for me either. At the end of the day, I'm all about Thin Mints and Samoas, and the rest you can just kind of. I almost said samosas. Ooh, I could go for an Indian flavored cookie. Come
All
on,
right,
man.
we'll take
Give
it
me,
around.
give
Make
me
mine
some.
a double.
Yeah, man, no kidding. But anyway, that season runs through April, and then I do remember you said Zepp earlier. Like they really bait you. They set up outside grocery stores now, and it's on the way in that you're most vulnerable because you're already hungry and you're like, I should have eaten before I came to the grocery store. And then you look up and there's a couple of brownies with their mom, and they got the card table set up, and it's like that's so unfair. I didn't come here to buy cookies, and yet I'm buying cookies.
Yeah,
but you said you went through a drive-through.
Yeah, it was a drive-through setup, and it was in a grocery store parking lot. But you know how it's in front of the doors there; they get you going in and coming out, like you just mentioned. But this one was further out into the parking lot at the Cub Foods there, and yeah, you just wheeled in and rolled down the window. It was like a drug transaction. You slip them a little cash, and they, they throw the boxes in the back seat, and then you peel out and you're on your way. The other sneaky method you copped to earlier this morning, Stephen, that is bringing your kid into work. There you are, trapped in your cubicle, and here comes mom or dad with the little cutie, and she's got a big old stack of Girl Scout cookies. You're cornered. What are you going to do? You're going to frickin' buy them.
You're going to say, I'm diabetic.
I'm diabetic.
Listen, if you're worried about all this Girl Scout cookie talk, just let it go. This is Quitter's Day. The second Friday in January is statistically the day most of us give up on our New Year's resolutions anyway. So just Thin Mint yourself into a shame corner. Go for it. We don't care.
I'm taking
Tony, do you have a little Girl Scout? Do you have a Girl Scout cookie, little something you wanted to share with us?
I do. Well, we welcome the arrival of new Girl Scout cookies, of course. But you might overindulge, but we don't judge.
It's finally here. A new Girl Scout cookie, now specially stamped with positive inspirational affirmations. Like,
I am a leader. I'm an innovator. I'm a go-getter.
but clear the pantry Girl Scout cookies for Earl's Stout cookies. Beer infused, extra sugary, and stamped with messages of their own. Like,
I have no interest. I've given up grooming. I can't hold down a job. I can't pay child support. I just swallowed an entire sleeve. I can't fit into my Wrangler relaxed fits anymore. I'm a disappointment to my ancestors. I'm invisible in this world.
and they taste okay. Forget Girl Scout cookies. Choose Earl's Stout cookies. You won't help any Scout earn their badge. You'll just face the hard truth that you eat too much and your life is less than ideal. Pick up a box and finish it the same day.
Not as popular.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
that is gold
true.
right there, baby.
I love
Yeah,
it.
no kidding about that. Hey, you can stream 92KQRS on your phone and listen anywhere you go. Go to the App Store and search 92KQRS, and you can find us at your leisure. Or if you prefer, leisure. I don't care how you say it. I'm just trying to make it easy for you. There you have it.
I like it. Here's what Candace sent us this morning about our guest coming up here, because Aaron Weber is new to us here in the Twin Cities, I believe. Based out of Nashville, a regular performer at the Grand Ole Opry, actually the youngest comedian to ever perform at the Opry. Also co-host on Nate Bargatze's podcast and touches on very important issues like animals, calendars, and Rhode Island. And he's coming to Laugh Camp Comedy Club. He's our guest at 9 o'clock. Hang tight.
It's the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS. Zep, Tony, Candace, and Steve Gorman are the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS.
The weather, she is upon us. Here comes winter, loud and clear this weekend. But that doesn't mean you have to bunker in and stay home, because tonight and tomorrow night at Laugh Camp in St. Paul, a very funny gentleman by the name of Aaron Weber will be appearing, 7 p.m. both nights. And Aaron is with us right now on the KQ Morning Show. Good morning, my man.
Good morning. What's going on? Thanks so much for having me, dude. I appreciate it.
It's a pleasure, dude. Aaron, you are a Montgomery, Alabama native. So my first question is this, simply.
Yeah.
Roll Tide or Ward Dam Eagle?
Oh, man. I grew up an Alabama fan, but I went to Notre Dame. So I'm a Notre Dame fan now. So now I hate both of them equally.
Hold on. What is a proud son of the great state of Alabama doing attending Notre Dame University?
Oh,
How did that happen?
I don't know. I had a lot of family go there. My dad went there, my two older siblings. So it became kind of a family thing. And then I visited and I loved it. And then, you know, there's a time in every man's life from Alabama where you got to get out of Alabama for a bit. So that's what I did.
So what years? What was the football scene when you were at Notre Dame?
So my first year was Brian Kelly's first year there. I was there from 2010 to 2014. So my junior year, we were in the national championship against Alabama. My junior year, a weird full circle moment for me, and then you know, so that was a good 4 years to be there. It's very exciting.
So, was there like any sort of a central nervous system shutdown during the game, or were you just Irish all the way and you didn't sweat it?
Well, I don't know what you remember about that game, but we were in it for about one play.
I remember. Yeah. I remember the first drive of the game where Alabama ran it down their throats like it was a JV. A high school team, but I digress. You tell me.
Yeah, what I choose to remember is the first play. We kind of stuffed them, and I remember thinking, "Oh man, we're going to hang with them," and that's the highlight reel ended right there. Pretty much, it was just a beatdown of epic proportions after that. But I choose to remember that feeling, that first play. You know, that was a good feeling. And then I don't know if you remember after that, it was not too long after that, all the Manti Te'o stuff with the fake girlfriend, all that came out. So that kind of tainted the whole season for a lot of people. But again, for those 7 seconds at the beginning of that game, I was on top of the world.
Yeah, no, I remember the 14:53 on the clock. It was like that Irish pride. I mean, hell, my family's Irish, so I felt it for a minute. Yeah, it's interesting. The Manti Te'o, that's a long story for another day. Did you see the documentary about him that came out a couple years ago?
I did. I thought it was great. I thought it was a surprisingly empathetic portrayal to Manti. I thought they did a good job telling the story. And it kind of changed the way the internet and people at large talk about it now. Now he's sort of seen more as a victim of it than he was before, which is good.
I think you got to kind of lay it out there for our listeners. Even I'm trying to, I don't have the steel trap memory that Mr. Gorman has. I remember the whole thing. There was some fabrication, a girlfriend.
Wait, you telling me you don't follow Notre Dame football as closely as I do?
That's exactly what I'm telling you, man.
Yeah, it was. He was the best football player in the country. He was the most decorated college football player of all time at the time. And there was a storyline in the middle of the season where he lost his grandmother and his girlfriend in the middle of the season. His girlfriend died. And then it came out after the season ended that the girlfriend never existed, that he had been catfished.
Yeah. Right.
And it came at a weird time where the term catfish wasn't even known publicly. This is the early stages of people lying to each other on the internet through dating apps. So he just came at an unfortunate time for him where people were still trying to understand what catfishing even means. Yeah. And he was just taken advantage of. And it was on a national stage. And it was just this embarrassing storyline that never died and stuck with him through his NFL career.
Yeah.
That documentary was really moving. I did look at him very differently. And I want to say, Aaron, your appearance in that documentary and you coming clean about being behind that whole thing, it was
bold.
Man,
Yeah.
I mean, props to you for just owning it. You know what I mean?
My stage name is Aaron Weber. My birth name is Renaya Tawasasopo. So I'm glad we cleared that up.
Wow. Oh, my God. You are an obsessed Notre Dame fan. No one remembers that name other than Irish fans. It's funny. You say catfish, and I'm thinking, I've spent a lot of time in Alabama, and you say catfish in Alabama, and people put a side of hush puppies next to it and move on with their day. You just fry up that bottom feeder and enjoy yourself. By the way, oh my God, I just remember this. Speaking of food in Montgomery, Alabama, I was there. I was driving through on the way to the beach a few years ago. Do you know about a pizza place there I went to? It's called Can a Brother Get a Slice?
Oh, man.
Are you familiar with this?
No, that sounds incredible, though. Tell me about it.
It's amazing. It's Montgomery's first black-owned pizzeria, and it's called Can a Brother Get a Slice? And it was incredible. And I just thought that's what Montgomery means to me. A lot of history in Montgomery, both good and bad. But now it's all about this one pizza place. Next time you're back home, go check it out.
Can a brother get a slice? By the way, that's so funny. You experience Montgomery the way most people do, which is stopping through there on the way to the beach. That's a good way to describe it.
You got to stop somewhere. Might as well be Montgomery. Aaron Weber is at Laugh Camp tonight and tomorrow night at 7 p.m. both nights. Let me ask you this, and this is not anything to do with being from Montgomery. It's just being a guy in the modern world. Ever been in a fist fight, an honest-to-God, just throwing hands with a stranger for any reason, like at a bar?
I've been involved in some. I've never been a main key player in them. But I've been in the mix. You know what I mean? I've been standing a few feet away, ready to jump in at any moment's notice.
Yeah. A good wingman, ready to throw, and then standing there and explaining afterwards, and your buddy's got a big shiner and a broken nose, going, "Dude, I tried." And then a bartender grabbed me, but I was trying to get in there. That sort of thing. I've been the guy with I've been in the main ring. But Steve, why do you ask him that? Because of the February least likely to get punched in the face story we did?
Well, yeah, I was going to say that emergency room data has been assembled, and the least likeliest month of the year for you to get punched in the face is February. So just letting you know, if you're the kind of guy that likes to get into a hook, you got a break coming up, so you'll rest up in February.
Okay, that's good to know. I feel like if you tell people that, they're going to start misbehaving more in February. They're like, I'm immune, right?
It's very true. That reminds me. I bought a jacket at an AmVets for 25 cents back in like the late 80s. It was a windbreaker, and on the back of it, it said Mableton Boxing Club State Champ Heavyweight Head Gloves. I mean, it was some former boxing badass's jacket, and I wore it to a bar, and like 3 different people challenged me to a fight.
Yeah.
And I'm like, do you not – this says heavyweight state champ, and I'm the guy you want to mess with? And I just thought, man, men are hilarious.
Did you have the build for it at the time, or was it obvious that it was a thrifted jacket?
No, I mean, I'm 6'3", and at that time, probably a solid 190. I mean, it wasn't like a waif. You know what I mean? It was like –
yeah.
I could have passed for Evander Holyfield in silhouette form.
Yeah, I'm saying it wasn't like me wearing an NBA jersey or something where it's obvious.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's a neon light in the bar to any hoople head that's been overserved to take on the champ. Remember, some idiot out there took on Mike Tyson at a bar.
Right.
So yeah, they're gonna take a run at the title anytime they think they've got a shot.
That's right.
Aaron Weber's with us. He's at Laugh Camp tomorrow night and tonight and tomorrow night, I should say, at 7 p.m. I noticed in some of the information we got about you, sir, what's going on with you in Rhode Island?
Oh, man. Well, I'm on a podcast that comes out every week with Nate Bargatze, who's just been blowing up the last few years. But I've been on a podcast with him.
We've heard of him.
Yeah, he's doing pretty well. He's doing pretty well. And we just pick random stuff to talk about on the podcast. So every now and then we'll just talk about a state. The first one we did was Rhode Island, and we just talked about that for 2 hours. And I'm going to be honest, I can't remember a single thing we talked about. I don't think we learned anything about it, but we just talked, we talked for 2 hours about Rhode Island. That's the kind of highbrow stuff we get into on the podcast.
Was it favorable mostly?
I mean, did you actually do research, or did you just make every bit of it up? Be honest.
Oh, no, we have a guy on the podcast, Brian Bates, who does the research every week and comes in and delivers kind of a book report. Basically, he just reads through Wikipedia and then just throws facts at us. That's the research that we have. And then Nate and I just kind of riff about it or talk about the state. No, there's no beef. I don't know if anybody has beef with Rhode Island. I don't know if they're not big enough to care about that much.
You know, most of what I know about Rhode Island came from Farrelly Brothers movies, with Jim Carrey or something about Mary. That's mostly what I know about Rhode Island, which isn't much. You don't get much from the movies.
But I think that's enough. I think you're good.
Okay.
Yeah, I've had a bad taste in my mouth ever since Dylan went electric in Rhode Island at Newport, but that's a whole other thing. Hey, Aaron, growing up in Montgomery though, in the 2000s, the aughts and whatnot, your high school years, what kind of music were you into? Were you a rock guy or a rap guy, or what was your scene?
Man, I'm trying to remember. It was Blink 182. It was that kind of. It was pop punk. Pop punk was what I grew up listening to. It wasn't until I moved to Nashville that I started to listen to country more. For whatever reason, where I grew up in Montgomery, none of my friends, my parents didn't listen to country at all. So I just listened to, my dad's been listening to the same 35 songs for 40 years. So I grew up on Baba O'Reilly and then Old Man by Neil Young. That's the same songs around in my car. When I moved to Nashville, that's when country's so ubiquitous. You can't get away from it, right? It's at the airport. Right. It's everywhere. So I would say when I moved to Nashville, that's when my musical taste really expanded, and now I listen to a little bit of everything.
Well, I mean, you do perform at the Grand Ole Opry, so you have to at least have a peripheral understanding of the music scene of modern country these days.
Oh, yeah. I get to do those shows with everybody. It's pretty amazing. So the way the show works is they have, a bunch of musical acts. Like I've done it with modern acts like Lady A. I've done it, Carrie Underwood. I did it. But even older Oak Ridge Boys, I've done it with them a few times, and big acts like that. But they'll just spike in a comedian every now and then. So I get to just be on the lineup with these guys. It's pretty insane.
Cool. Yeah, nice.
Yeah. The cool part about it is just the house band there are you can imagine they're such great musicians. They're so good that when I met with them the first time, they go what do you want your walk-up song to be? What do you want to play when you're walking on the stage? And I was like, oh man, I was so naive at the time. I go, what can y'all play? And the guy was like, the guy goes, I mean, we can play anything that you're going to say to us. I was like, okay, all right. Yeah. All right. Yeah. And they have not been stumped once. They're just that level of musicians. Sure.
If you want to talk about as competitive a seat, I mean, the people that have those seats on that stage are, there's 100 guys waiting to get that spot. They don't miss a note or a beat, man. They are incredible. That is world-class stuff. Aaron Weber's with us. He's at Laugh Camp tomorrow night at 7 p.m. and tonight at 7 p.m., Laugh Camp in St. Paul. You and I go into a gym right now, and you get 10 free throws. How many are you going to hit?
I'll tell you what, 6.
Wow.
I feel pretty good.
That's not bad.
No. Yeah, it's not awful.
Now, that's not bad in street clothes.
Yeah. I have to wear what I'm wearing right now? 4.
Yeah, right now.
Maybe, yeah. I was thinking the ideal outfit. No, 6, maybe. I don't know. If I had to move, if we had to play a game of basketball, you'd probably beat me. But if I'm allowed to just take my time and just stand still and take a shot, I feel pretty good about it.
No, I just that's good. I like the confidence. Over 50% is always going to work. First concert you ever saw? First concert, Aaron, what was it?
I saw Guster at the Bama Theater in Birmingham, Alabama. Ray LaMontagne opened for him. I remember that. And I'd never heard of him
I know
at the
that
time.
Theater.
Yeah.
I know that theater very well. I've played it many times. It's awesome.
Awesome theater. I was in 7th, about to go into 8th grade at the time, and I drove up with my friend. That was the first concert I saw. The artist I've seen the most is I've seen John Mayer 3 or 4 times now in Nashville.
Mm-hmm.
But, I go to the Ryman a bunch in Nashville, so I've seen a bunch of shows there. But Guster, that was the first one, and I was obsessed with them for a long time. I don't know
Yeah,
how familiar you
that's a
are
cool
with
band.
them, but they've been around a while.
I got on the keyboard when you said Guster. Here's other genres they're described as: alternative indie, cool, Russian hip hop, and something called Levant rap. Oh. I'm confused.
That's Guster?
Well, that's what it says here on Wikipedia. Got American alternative rock band from Boston. I think I have one of their tunes in an MP3 playlist. I don't know where Russian hip hop comes from.
Yeah, that doesn't sound accurate at all. They're like a kind of a hippie, just acoustic light rock band.
Okay, that's weird.
Yeah, that's
Wikipedia is
Guster
almost never
and
wrong.
that's Guster and Gustav, actually. Got a combination
Maybe that's what it was.
page going on right there. Hey, Aaron, thank you for stopping by, man. You are welcome anytime, my friend. Laugh Camp tonight at 7, tomorrow night at 7. Have a great time while you're in the Twin Cities, brother.
Thanks so much. I appreciate it, y'all. Good to meet you guys.
You got it.
Come
Good to
back
talk
to
with you.
us.
Connect with us on the KQ Talkin' text line. 651-989-ROCK. That's 651-989-ROCK. 92 KQRS.
I'm Steve Gorman. This is the KQ Morning Show for Friday, January 12th. Between now and the next time we are on the air, old man winter will be rolling in. It's already really, really cold. Some more snow coming through Saturday. A few more inches are going to accumulate. But then tomorrow, that wind is going to start whipping. That's a WHIPP, whipping. Sunday, wind chill is going to be 30 below, 35 below maybe. So just be aware over the weekend. You don't need to get out and do much, okay? Just, sit back and watch some football, maybe pull up a movie on Netflix. Just chill, baby. It's going to be cold
Don't tell
out
me
there.
how to live my life.
Not only will I will tell you, and I will actually insist that you live your life the way I tell you, okay?
I'm going to a
Don't
big
push me, Candace.
wrestling
It's Friday.
wrestling event.
Wrestling.
Ooh, that sounds
Wrestling.
cool.
As a participant or a viewer?
Just a viewer. I'm a little upset though. My favorite wrestler, JP Warhouse, who is like a rock and roll heavy metal headbanger. That's
Says
his
real
thing.
name?
No, I don't know his real name. Anyway, but he changed his gimmick on me. So now he's like some somber, I don't know, lame. I don't know. I'm really upset because I love headbanging with him.
Now he's an impressionist painter.
What? I was going to say, it's kind of like when Garth Brooks became, right. What was his name? What was Garth Brooks' alter ego back in the
rocker.
90s? Something Gaines or something?
No, I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah. What was that guy's name? Cliff Gaines or something?
Oh, that's Cliff Gaines, wasn't that? I feel like that had something to do with
Chris Gaines.
Chris Gaines.
Chris Gaines, that was it.
All right.
Let me tell you something. When you are so big in your career that you decide you have to perform music as someone else, somebody should have tipped him off. Hey, no, that's actually not the solution, dude. Just go away.
Yeah.
Don't put the world through the Chris Gaines experience. That's still one of the most insane things I've ever seen.
Remember, my father-in-law didn't believe it. I had an argument with him. He's like, "That's not him."
Yeah, I miss that little bit of country history. I remember it happening, but I wasn't really plugged into it. I mean, Prince went with the artist formerly known as Prince and went with a symbol, but he was still Prince. I mean, when you went to a Prince show where he released the music, there was Prince. He was just messing with the record label and some sort of legal battle there, and that you can respect in an artist. But yeah, I don't know that whole Garth. What did he perform? Like a different genre of music?
Yes.
Yeah, it was
Weird.
like alt rock. It was his rock alter ego.
Stop it.
And yeah, I'm dead serious. He lost weight, so his face was much skinnier, and he had a little soul patch under his lip. I'm not kidding.
Okay, all right, this is coming back to me. Yeah.
You
Garth
guys
Brooks
just wait.
as Chris Gaines. He appeared on Saturday Night Live as Chris Gaines.
He was developing a film around his character, too. It was called The Lamb.
Man,
That's way too far.
That's right. I forgot.
I'm trying to think of what I'm going to show up as on Tuesday. I'm going to dye my hair black and let's see, be really smart about sports and stuff. And you guys are going to be like, what the heck?
Be just like us.
You reinvent yourself. Let's all reinvent ourselves for the next show. No, I'm already out on the idea. I tried to play along for a second.
Minnesota Vikings will play a game in London this upcoming season, and sadly for season ticket holders, it will count as a home game.
Yeah.
So instead of 9 home games at the U.S. Bank, you will get 8 home games at U.S. Bank and 1 home game in England, which last I checked is literally an ocean away.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I have to imagine if you're a season ticket holder, they're not going to make you purchase that ticket. But we should probably investigate that so that we know what we're talking about. If you want to, and I'm glad I almost forgot to mention this, if you want to sound smarter, okay, a couple things we can all do, and not just for radio, but in life. Slow down your speech, because we know everyone has a natural speaking cadence, and it's hard to change. But when you speak too quickly, people tend to assume you might be a little nervous, or you're just curt and they don't dig that. And the other one is you need to steer clear from big words. Now, using large, complex words, it might make you feel smarter, but other people, it comes across as if you're trying too hard.
Yeah.
And so you don't want people to look at you and think, I wish this blatherskite would just shut up. You know what I'm saying?
You know a lot of big
don't
words,
wanna-
Steve.
Yeah, the pomposity of
blatherskite.
that is egregious.
Well, I try not to tread in ambiguous terms. You know, I like to keep things on the up and up.
You've just
A
said things that I
blatherskite-
don't know. Like many things I've heard you say that I don't know what you're saying. But I don't ask because I don't care.
Wow.
Wow. So
Mostly about
that's
soccer.
really strange.
No,
Did you?
I'm teasing.
Hey, when I said those words, did you feel a sensation that was like? Was it kind of like when you felt your first Kurg laugh?
What's that? I do want to know what that is.
He's making up stuff now.
No, a Kurg laugh. That's that shock you feel when you first plunge into cold water.
Oh, wait a second. Don't you owe
You know
us
that
a full
feeling?
plunge? You owe us a Kurg laugh.
And again, I also said I don't want you to think of me as a blatherskite. And of course, that's someone who speaks at great length without making much sense.
Oh, that's me. Now he's looking at me.
Listen, Wayne State University in Michigan has a list of 10 words that they think we should resurrect in 2024. And I'm down with this. I think some of these are fantastic. An inferior legal practitioner. Inferior legal practitioner. So basically, an ambulance chasing lawyer is a pedophager. Pedophager.
Whoa, easy.
close.
Yeah. Yeah, one of the
I've-
Aaron Rodgers routine there for a moment.
Pettifogger. Pedophager.
pedophager.
I've seen a
Okay.
few of those. How about this? A raw gabbit. Or it's like the word raw followed by rabbit, but with a G. Raw gabbit. A
right.
person who speaks confidently but ignorantly. That's everyone I know.
Again, these are feeling personal, I feel. All right. Raw gabbit.
I'm just saying. I like all these words. There's always a list of old words that are real that have gone out of favor. And I read them and I do think, like, yeah, these are words that we need. Like the word twankle. Twankle. To twang
Like
with the
that.
fingers. To twang with the fingers on a musical instrument. Not a euphemism, a literal musical instrument. He sat on the porch as dusk rolled in, twankling an old childhood
Oh,
favorite
that is
on the banjo.
beautiful. That's beautiful.
Isn't that a good word? Twankle? Twinkle, twinkle, little star. I
gotta
don't know.
take a
I'm just
twinkle.
I'm a fan of language. What can I say? Does that make me sound smarter?
We're in the right business.
Trying
anyway.
here. I'm trying to do what I can. Jeez. Anybody? Hey, but before we go for the weekend, fellas and lass, anybody got any big weekend plans?
Well, I thought I might mix it up this weekend and try a little something called skiing. I hang out with a
attaboy.
by the way, yeah. So, no, I don't know, get outside and rock and roll. I mean, it's going to be cold, but layer up, and there's some fun to be had out there. They're making ice in Minnesota right now, so there's an opportunity to get out there and get stranded on the ice if you'd like. I don't know, what's everyone doing? Comfort food, comfy clothes, snuggling.
Why don't you guys come to
Tony, you're still
wrestling with me?
recoup. What? Sorry, say that again.
Why don't you guys come wrestling with me?
I get too fired up.
Where's
I can't
this
stay
gonna
out of the
happen?
ring.
I don't want to pull anything.
It's going to be so fun. It's WrestlePalooza at First Avenue.
Ooh.
And, tons and tons of wrestlers all in town, out of town. And there'll be music and burlesque and beer.
Dancing wrestlers?
Candace, you mentioned earlier in the show that one of the things you want to do is get more into weightlifting and get a lot stronger and just be one of those muscle girls.
Yep.
Is this all is wrestling in your future?
This is my debut, dog.
Oh my God! I can see it. I can see. I get it. It's in your personality. It's locked away.
Because the wrestler, you got to have a character. It'd be kind of awesome. You could fold a little Stevie Nicks persona into a wrestler.
Well,
and put spells on people and
I have thought about
scarves and little shoulder shawls, and then you choke people with them and stuff.
Have an owl on your shoulder.
I can see it.
Yeah. Stevie Necklock. Or no way.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
There it is.
I like that a lot.
All right, you guys, this is all happening, and it's my what'd you call it earlier? A new persona.
Yeah.
Candace Wheeler on fire. I like it. Let's look back, shall we?
Now listen, everybody.
I am Steve.
And now I'm going to teach you a lesson.
It is January the 12th. On this day in 1946, the Cleveland Rams were granted permission to move to Los Angeles to become the Los Angeles Rams. Did any of us know the Rams were originally in Cleveland? I didn't.
Nope.
I literally, I hosted a sports talk radio show for 10 years. And I had no idea that the Cleveland Rams were ever a thing. Just goes to show there's always more to learn. Don't know anything about them. Don't know if they were good. Don't know how many seasons they played there. Because truthfully, I don't care. I was just blown away that there was the Rams that started life off in Cleveland. Completely gobsmacked by that information. On this day in 1975, speaking of gobsmacked, the Pittsburgh Steelers, Brian Zepp's beloved Steel Curtain, won Super Bowl IX, 16-6. That was the first of their many Super Bowl championships. Unfortunately, the team on the losing side of that equation was the Minnesota Vikings, featuring their tremendous, legendary Purple People Eaters. Final score, again, 16-6. Terry Bradshaw threw for 102 yards.
I know, right.
Fran Tarkenton went 11 for 26 with 3 interceptions. Ooh, baby. Rough game for the Steelers. Rough game for the Vikings, I should say. Another Super Bowl loss. And, it's coming. That's all I'm going to say. It's going to happen eventually. I know it's been a long time coming. It's going to be there. I feel it. I don't feel it. I'm just trying to get over the fact that the Vikings lost 4 in a row. I don't know what's going to happen.
Get the KQ Morning Show podcast wherever you listen. 92 KQRS.